Hello everyone, I wanted to share today how I built my beach house that I shared on my video 26 ideas for tiny unique builds. And a lot of you guys have asked me to share the process on how I built all of those. So because they're all quite long, like they take around 10 minutes each, I decided that I'll make this a series instead, and I'll be sharing here the full process. So the way that I started this house was by placing the pawns first. I always do the landscaping and terrain before building any structure. It's just easier for me because one, I just like terrain and landscape more. And second, it's a little bit hard for me to build and visualize the structure if I don't have the views in mind. Like I like to build thinking about what you're gonna see from the window, what you're gonna see from the door, how is your entrance looking, and so on. So I placed the pawn first because the pawns has a really far placement range. Doesn't matter if you adjust or not. At the moment, it's a little bit buggy and it's always far away. So I placed the pawn first. Thankfully, I placed the pawn almost on the exact location that I wanted. I just pushed it a little bit far ahead so it looked like a river and not just a pond. And then I immediately picked up the flooring boards, and I did not use foundation for this build because the terrain was flattened, and also because I didn't want the brick effect on the sides. I wanted only wood for this build. For the walls, I decided to go with the wooden materials, which again, I feel like it matches the tropical vibe more. Because we don't have a wooden plank wall yet in the game, I decided to build my own. And to do that, you can do it as well. I'll also share the combination codes below. But basically, I just picked up a bunch of corner pillars, dyed them brown, and just lined them up together to make it a fake wall. And it's so good. I love this combination that I did because both sides of this wall look completely different. And because they look completely different, they can be used for different purposes. And I just think it's better than having normal wall with wallpaper. And it's also a cheaper version because building the corner pillar is not really that difficult. So instead of using walls, I'm actually going to be using my little pillar combination, and then I'll mix and match with the window and the arches to make the house. Then I start building up the structure, and after I build up the structure, I just went ahead and started placing some of the main pieces of furniture and also the main arch, just so I know how big the area has to be and how I should space out the items. Then for some accent walls, I picked up my wall combination with the pillars and rotated it, which is what I was talking about earlier about this wall combination having two completely different sides. And as you can see right now, it looks completely different now, and I just love this as an accent. I think it looks really cute and cozy. And then instead of using floorings for the ceiling, because they have that pattern underneath, I felt like the brick effect on the ceiling would make more sense for this build. So I used the foundation instead. And of course, it's a little bit hard to achieve the desired effect here because we have a limited amount of decor items at the moment. This was done like on the first week of the house system release. So I used the pieces that I thought matched that vibe more. And I felt like these here would look nice together. And I just went ahead and selected the pieces of furniture that I felt like it made sense. And then I had this idea of combining different rugs together, which is not actually something that we do a lot, at least not in Brazil where I'm from, but I do see that being done in other countries, and I feel like it would look really nice together as well. And I think the game intended for you to do that because once I combined the rugs, they actually became their own item, like a group, just like how you place small clutter on top of desks and then you can move the desk, it will move everything together. That happened with the rugs as well. So very cool that we can do that and combine the rugs. I really enjoyed doing that and I really like the effect. Then I just selected some pieces of decor just to give a little extra, put some paintings on the walls, and I've also put that woven piece of art that looks like a tapestry. I think that matches the vibe perfectly with that lamp as well. And then I put an arch in front of an arch. I know it looks a little bit like redundant, but I felt like it just framed it better. So you're dragging more attention to the view, which is the highlight of this room, right? Then I just completed with some of the very few tropical looking plants that we have. And one hack that I've been doing a lot is picking up these plants that have an ugly, quote unquote, ugly vase and put them inside a basket. So the basket covers up the bottom part of the plant item and it looks so cute. I love doing this. Now I'm doing this with every single plant that I have. And yeah, overall, this is what it's looking like. I ended up adding like another wall on the side as well, just to walk up better. But I think the final result is quite cute. I'm pretty happy with it. This is how I built this house, which was one of the easiest builds that I did on my other video. I will release the guides for every other build as well, and I'll also release a new compilation with more ideas with bigger builds. Since we are getting tons of furniture tomorrow, I already have so many ideas for bigger palaces, inner court, witch towers, and so on. Thank you so much for watching and see you on the next one.
Ryan Little.